So why doesn't God just kill the devil? Why?
The devil isn't real. The devil is not real. Now, I'm speaking through the lens of Bhakti Yoga through Krishna consciousness, which is not just a religion, it's a philosophy and it's a science. And it is ancient. It's older. Its texts are older than the Bible. So, but first off, the devil isn't real. So, in previous ages, currently we're in Kali Yuga, but there were prior ages. Kali Yuga is the Iron Age. If you've heard of like the Golden Age, the Bronze Age, those are actual ages of time. They're real. So, in previous ages, those who had demoniac qualities, they were actually physically manifest, right? Like they were demon races, like races of people who were demoniac. And being demoniac means you have demon qualities, meaning you lie, you steal, you cheat, you murder, you deceive, all those sorts of things. The more of those qualities you have, the more of a demon you are. And they were out in the open, and they fought against, and they were atheistic. They also, being demonic also means you don't believe in God, or you want to be God yourself. So people with those qualities, beings with those qualities were considered demons, and they were physical beings, they were people. Sometimes they had human forms, sometimes they had forms of other creatures, sometimes it was mixed. They were often very powerful. They did a lot of austerities and penance to be able to gain mystic powers, right? So as the ages um go from like higher light golden age down to the lowest age, which is what we're in, which is Kali Yuga, the Iron Age, what gradually happens is the demons aren't outside of you. They aren't over there, that person over there I can see that's a demon, that's a separate race or whatever. No, they are now, the demoniac qualities are inside of us, inside of everyone. And so now in Kali Yuga, everyone's basically demoniac. And being demoniac is based on how much of these demonic qualities do you embody? How much do you lie? How much do you cheat? How much do you steal? How much are you murdering? How atheistic are you? How much do you want to be God? How much do you not believe in God? All these things, the more of that you have, the more demoniac you are, the more of a demon you are. The less you have, the less demoniac you are, the more in the mode of goodness that you are. But what it said is that the demons aren't inside of us, they're inside of us. These demoniac energies, they're in our thoughts, and we have to choose whether we want to give our energy to that or not, whether we will listen to these demoniac thoughts that we have, these thoughts to do wrong, these thoughts to commit crimes, these thoughts to hurt others, these thoughts to hurt ourselves, these thoughts to be deceitful. So there is no devil. But if we were to say that there was some sort of devil, it would be these demoniac qualities. And these demoniac qualities exist because on some level, most of us at some point have wanting to be God, have wanted to be in control, to be the enjoyer, to not have to submit to anyone, to not be anyone's servant, right? If you don't want to be anyone's servant, including God's, you don't want to be under control of anyone. You want to dictate everything. You want to enjoy. You want to have fun. You want to you want to be the controller. That's demoniac. That's demoniac. That's atheistic because ultimately God is the supreme controller. God is the supreme enjoyer, and we are all his servants. And the moment we realize that and we step into that role and we surrender to God, then we begin a process of purifying ourselves of those demoniac qualities, of all of those sins, so that we can actually live in accordance with the way we were supposed to originally. But like I said, when we have this tendency to want to enjoy life, to want to live life how we want to live it on our terms, answer to no one, then that desire takes you further and further away from God and makes you inclined to have more demoniac qualities. So that is to say, don't blame God because you want to live life the way you want to live it, because you don't want to submit to anyone, because you don't want to serve God, because you you're envious, you want to have more than the next person because you want to be more beautiful than the next person, because you want to have more money than the next person, because you're materialistic. That's not God's fault. That's we as souls have free will to decide what we want and what we don't want, and what we want to, who we want to submit to, who we don't. If we want to be God's servant, to be good, and be his, and be what word am I looking for? But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So basically, what I'm saying is that um, if you're looking at this through a Christian lens, as I did for a majority of my life, I grew up Christian, then it can be confusing. It can be hard to understand how, there's this powerful demon controlling everyone. And then why doesn't the Lord come and just take care of them? Just snip them, just snuff them out. Like, but um, once I learned the truth, which is that there is no just one devil, there are demoniac qualities. There are qualities that people can embody, can take on, and that results in what can be perceived as devilish people, evil people, demonic people. Those people make a choice. Those people make a choice to act that way. These are all choices that people are making. And so it is within our power to choose if you want to be that way or not. And it may be hard to believe, but some people choose to be evil. Some people choose to be demoniac. Some people want to be God. Some people want to be control the whole world and not just Earth. Some people want to be in control of the whole universe, right? Think about the people that are trying to go to space and do stuff in space and stuff on the moon. Like those people, a lot of those people want to be God and want to play God. Or the people that are, doing splicing DNA and making and fertilizing eggs and things like this all outside of, like, that stuff is not um that's, God didn't want it like that. God didn't want it like that. That's trying to play God right there. So I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, but the point is, no one wants to feel like they're powerless. No one wants to feel like I'm just at the whim of these evil demoniac forces and there's nothing I can do. Yet what can we do? We can pray to God. We can pray to God and also know that God has an amazing system in place to punish all of the evil demoniac people. There are at least 28 hellish planets in the material world where people are sent to for various sins they commit. So do not worry. All of those evil demoniac people that you may be concerned about, like, oh, how do we deal with this? How do we come to terms with this? What can we do about this person who is doing so much wrong in the world and hurting and harming so many people? Like, do not worry. Like, karma will come for them. The Lord, the Lord will purify them in hell. Like, do not worry about that. And that is a good thing, because if you are such an evil demoniac person having all of these bad qualities, you need some reformation. You need some purification, and hell will do that, and then they'll be reborn again. So do not worry, try not to stress, and just always turn to God, and don't get your hands dirty. Like, it is not our battle to fight unless the Lord specifically commands you to. And if it gets bad enough, just know that the Lord has come in many, many ages and many, many times to himself kill and destroy the demons. This is all outlined in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So the Lord always takes care of his devotees, those who are devoted to him and who submit to him and who serve him. So if you are especially concerned, then submit to the Lord and he will always protect you.